Get
Hey,
him.
hey. Penny found not guilty in chokehold death of Jordan Neely.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Penny was acquitted Monday of criminal negligence homicide in a chokehold death of Jordan Neely, a 30-year-old homeless man with a history of mental illness whose final moments on a New York City subway train were captured on a bystander video that set off weeks of protests and drew national attention. The decision on the fifth day of deliberations came after the jury deadlocked Friday on the more serious charge of manslaughter, leading the judge to dismiss it. Penny faced up to 4 years in prison. As the jury foreperson read the not guilty verdict, some observers in the courtroom applauded. Others began to audibly sob and yell, including Neely's father, Andrew Zachery, who was escorted out. This is America. That is the sound of black pain, one person said outside the courtroom in Lower Manhattan to the reaction. Chants of no justice, no peace could be heard echoing from the outside. The case divided people in New York and beyond, in some cases along political and racial lines. Neely was black, Penny is white. Some people viewed Penny as a callous and his actions as criminal on the day he encountered Neely, who had been shouting and acting erratically when he boarded a subway train in Manhattan on May 1st, 2023. Others contend Penny was selfless in his attempt to protect fellow passengers. So what you were saying before is that basically Neely got on the train and they're saying he was basically he had acted he acted like really
He acted aggressively.
aggressively.
Here, we can watch the video. Look at him holding down. Does that look like a danger to you? As you see, he's being choked out, and the other guy's holding his arm. Both his arms. That's murder. That's murder. Held him down until he couldn't breathe.
Wow, bruh.
Yeah, held him down. He didn't hurt nobody. He was just threatening people. He was hungry and he was acting erratic, just like anybody that would have a mental break in public. So my whole thing is like this. This is the new standard. I'm not scared of shit no more. Like I said before, this is a new standard. So if I see somebody acting erratically and they're being a threat and a danger, or they're just threatening people, they're not a danger because he wasn't a danger. He's on a subway train. I've seen videos of people on New York subway trains act crazy. I can go behind them and choke them out and kill them, and I should be set free. And I can name this case now as, hey, this is what I was doing. And they have to abide by that case.
I mean, that they only really got to abide by that case
in New York. In New York.
I mean, as a terms of I
well,
won't
give me my tips. It's going down.
I won't even say an appeal, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it could be looked at as that, but that's not really. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. What you're basically doing is though they set a precedent to things like this. It should be viewed differently. It should be viewed very much differently than what that video just showed. Like that's crazy to me, man. They do other one guy. It's like a gang. What if a gang did the same exact thing to you? What if you were walking down the street, you threaten to call people, and or not even threaten to call people, but that's what they're saying precipitate. I mean, like made the next action viable for what it was, for them being able to hold his arms while another man give basically a rear naked chokehold.
Held him like in a headlock. You choked him out. You killed him. That's just what it is. One guy held his arm so he couldn't even fight back.
He couldn't even try to like stop you from like
nothing. Couldn't even say nothing.
Some air.
And they have video. They show his eyes where he's dying. I didn't want to show that to people, but he dies. You know what I'm saying? You're going to quit that? That's cool. And somebody posted this online. They're like, white supremacy in America is dictated by how easily you can get away with killing black people.
And that was just a crazy video. We're gonna have to like blur that somewhat because that's how bad that was.
We're not gonna blur it, but he wasn't dead when that video was showing, so it's fine. As long as you don't see him slumped over, we should be good. But I'm saying that's just what America is. And so this is what everyone needs to understand what you need to do.
Wow.
And like I said, I'm tired I don't want to see no black folks whining and crying about this. Yo, we do everything better in America except for get some revenge. And it's time to change that.
I mean,
that's the mindset. That's the mind state everyone needs to go into.
And then they acquitted him
after the 20th. This needs to be your mind state. You have no allies. They showed you that in the election. You have no friends. They showed you that in the election. Mind your business. Be about yours. That's exactly how you have to think now. You cannot sit here and whine and cry. You think the justice system is going to do something for you. It hasn't done nothing for you at all. You just saw this case. This is what we're going into. This is going to be your world. We're back in the 50s. Do you understand that? Everyone needs to understand that. And as long as they do, we'll be fine. Act accordingly. But in the 50s, You couldn't fight back, but today you can.
Yeah, that's a tough video to watch. Like I'm gonna say again, man, a hundred more times.
And
That's
that
like,
won't be the last one. Think about it. Now, if anyone's acting erratically and you can claim they're a threat, you can kill them in the streets and get away with it. In New York, like they're going to do it in other states. They are. I don't doubt they will. But I mean, it better be the same across the board. So if a Karen is acting crazy in a store and everyone feels threatened by her, you should be able to choke her ass out with no consequences. They're
I
going to
don't
allow
think I don't think anyone's getting away with
vigilantism.
that one.
Think about it, bro. They're about to give regular citizens the right to hunt human beings.
Like they did. I try to tell you, we're hunting for scalps. It's all over again.
Yeah.
Same exact situation playing out all over again. This dude got off with that looked like. I mean, I won't call it murder because I don't think that was his. He didn't go on that train with the intent of murdering
No,
somebody.
it's called manslaughter.
But he definitely
Exactly
committed
what it is,
manslaughter, man.
manslaughter, and they didn't want to charge him
He
because the jury
definitely
was
committed
split.
manslaughter,
Because
man.
to them, he wasn't human. Look at it. The one guy kills the CEO for a good reason. And they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh my God, you assassinated him." What's the difference? One guy was threatening, and the other guy was letting people die. Just because he didn't do it in their face, what's the difference?
He didn't have a weapon, so he wasn't a real threat. You
Which
killed
one?
him.
Neither one of them had a weapon.
I'm not talking about the CEO.
The only weapon the brother had was this. That was his weapon.
The CEO, he was basically he was running his mouth. Yeah, I mean, a little bit too much. That's all that happened. That's all he did. People do that all the time. It's not against the law, but it's against the law for him to threaten people. And it's also against the law for you to take matters into your own hands.
Yep, call the police. You're not
had he
Batman,
touched
homie.
anyone, he had not. From what they were saying, he hadn't even touched anyone
No, he
at
was
all.
just acting erratic. He was just on the people were like, "Oh, they're all shook and stuff," and homeboy just took it upon himself to choke his ass out. He ain't hurt.
I
He
mean,
ain't hurt
and
nobody.
then and
Look,
continue to choke him
yeah.
after he felt his body go limp. You felt his body go limp. You felt the person. You felt the air leave his body, basically, like you know what I mean? Like he wasn't breathing the same anymore. He wasn't putting up a fight anymore. You weren't afraid of him. How easily did you take him down the first time? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys could have disarmed him, check him for weapons. You knew what to do. This isn't your first. I mean, obviously, but you felt that it was your job to put your arms around somebody's throat and choke them into the life left their body and beyond. You know what I mean? Like you knew that's all. You got to choke somebody for a little while and continue to choke them at a yeah.
He killed the man and got away with it. Exactly. And that's American people need to understand. This is what the times we're coming into. You can either sit back and kind of bitch and cry and be like, "Oh, they can't do that to us," or you can get some get back. And I'd rather get some get back.
I don't think I'm gonna say he was or wasn't, but he didn't look like he was on like pre-trial detention. He been out on the streets.
Yeah,
like,
he got bailed out. They always bail him out and stuff like that.
Oh, but wait. So for killing somebody, he got bail, but they won't give. You know what I mean? Alleged, I guess you call sex traffic or whatever you want to call it.
The Abercrombie and Finch dude did the same thing with real charges. See, with Sean Combs, they just got people telling stories. With the Abercrombie and Finch dude, they had witnesses and all kind of stuff, all that stuff. They let him go. We see, I don't know why we sit. You know what pisses me off online? When people be like, "I wonder why that is." Oh, they let this guy out, but not this guy. I wonder. You know why it is? I'm tired of that. Let's quit playing. Puffy's in jail because he's black. That's all it is. They won't let him out because he's a black man with a whole bunch of money and he can actually do it. They want him to suffer in jail.
You know